Good morning, people, and welcome to the Rangers Review morning briefing for Tuesday, the 15th of August. And of course, it is game day. Huge Champions League qualifier on the horizon over in Switzerland. I'm Derek Clark, and to look forward to the game, I'm joined once again by Stevie Clifford. How's it going, Stevie?
I'm all right, Derek. I was just telling everyone that I'm half asleep. So I up early this morning and that. But yeah, it's game day, so I'll waken up soon, I think.
Yeah. Before we talk about the game, folks, just a quick mention for our giveaway we've got on at the moment before I forget on this morning's show. Of course, on Friday, the 25th of August, some Rangers legends are coming back to Glasgow to reminisce about their time at Ibrox. None other than Eric Bo Anderson, Peter Lovenkrands, and Brian Laudrup as well. There'll be a Q&A, an auction, meet and greet, as well as a Danish-themed menu on offer as well. It's going to be a fabulous night over there at the Hilton Doubletree Hotel, and we have got a table. We're giving away 2 tickets to 2 lucky subscribers. All you have to do is to sign up to our newsletter. It's completely free. You head over to rangersreview.co.uk/ email bulletins, or you can head over to the website and click on subscribe to our newsletter, and then pop in your email address, and that is you entered into the draw. You have until midnight on Thursday to enter. The draw will take place this coming Friday, ahead of the event, which is a week on Friday. Of course, it's sure to be a fantastic occasion, and myself, Stevie, Joshua, Johnny, and some others will also be there. Chris Jack's going to be there as well on the table. It's sure to be a right cracking night. So if you want to enter that draw, folks, have until midnight on Thursday to do so. Right, Stevie, big game tonight for Rangers. Financially, it's huge, of course, to make it through to the Champions League playoff round once again. We talked a little bit about it yesterday and how we expect Rangers to approach this one. Michael Beale gave his press conference yesterday where he spoke about a number of things as he normally does. On the injury front, he says that, Ryan Jack did the press. He's there. He's available. Connor Goldson is back as well. He mentioned that John Lundstrom hasn't travelled. He did touch on that the weekend for personal issue, he said. So the team tonight, Stevie, can you see it differing much from the team we witnessed at the weekend?
I was thinking about this. I said it yesterday as well, that I'd maybe make 1 or 2 changes. But then I was thinking about it earlier that perhaps Sima comes right into the reckoning because of just his pace, and we might need an out ball. So it could go a couple of ways. I do think Ryan Jack will come back in. But at the same time, I thought Cifuentes had a really good game at the weekend, and I think it would be quite harsh to leave him out. So positive thing, Derek, is at least we've got options. You know, there's a few ways that we can go. There's a few different things that we're going to do. So I would imagine that they'll need to come and have a wee bit of a go. They're going to have to. They have to win the game. So, and we need to stay in touch with them as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we line up. You know, I think the back 4, back 5, including the goalkeeper, is pretty obvious. Goldson comes back in. He'll partner John Suter, who's been excellent. And then, you know, Tavernier and Barisic will be fullbacks. Cantwell's going to play. Raskin's going to play. It's who's going to be the third one next to him. I still think it'll be Ryan Jack. I think Ryan Jack comes back in. I would keep Cifuentes in. I think he done well enough, and I think he played well enough. But then what else do you do?
Who drops out?
Do you put Cifuentes maybe? Do you put Cantwell up? And then you would maybe go Danilo and Sima, and does Lammers and Dessers drop out? Does Lammers stay in? So there's plenty of options there. I think most likely Cifuentes will probably come out, and they'll most likely go with Cantwell, Raskin and Jack. And then, you know, up front, maybe Sima, Lammers, Danilo, that kind of thing. I just think Sima, for his pace, might be in with a shout, because if they're going to come at us we're going to need an out ball, and I should imagine they will try and pressure us quite a wee bit. So it was funny, I was thinking about this earlier. It's probably, when you think about Hoffenheim away, that's probably the ideal kind of friendly preparation for a game like this tonight. It's similar levels of opposition and stuff like that. So certainly don't want to be 2-0 down again by half time, but it might be a similar kind of style of game and things like that. So I would hope that the players and the team have had, just a kind of insight into what it's going to be like, and hopefully they come through it okay. But there is a few options, Derek. So I don't see major wholesale changes, but obviously Goldson comes back in. That's going to happen. He told us that. But there's a couple of other options, and it's nice. It's better to be in this position, I think, than looking at a bench that's pretty empty and stuff. So I'm quite happy with where we are.
Yeah. Lots of comments are coming in. Let's get to a few of them just now. First of all, just on the press conference, it's an issue I see many, some people commenting from time to time about the volume. Zoomerang says, any you guys have influence on Rangers press conference can never hear the questions. Normally, we have microphones on the top table, buddy. We can't mic up every journalist that's in the press conference. Hence, and sometimes these press conference rooms are quite spacious, so it's just logistics. We cannot simply tell everyone to pass a mic around or what have you. So that is the issue with regards to that. If there's a solution around that, then we're all ears. But that is why you can sometimes it's quite hard to hear what has been asked of the manager and player who's been put up for the press. Let's get to some people's teams. Aldo gets in touch. He says he's going for Butland to have Balogun, Soapy, BB, Barisic, of course, Jack, Sifu, Raskin, Lammers, Cantwell, and Danilo. He's going for a 4-0 win. I would absolutely love for that if that was going to be the case this evening. The Walking Dave says my team for night 4-3-2-1. Butland, Borna, Soapy, Goldson, Tav, Sifu, Raskin, Jack, Lammers, Cantwell, and Danilo. That's pretty much going along with my team as well. Stevie, the comment before from Aldo, though, Balogun, I can't see him coming back in. I think Goldson he was rested at the weekend. Of course, he has been out for some time. I think it was a wise move to do just that, to keep him fresh for tonight. He comes straight back in, surely.
Yeah, manager confirmed that on Saturday. I was actually the one that asked him on Balogun's performance. I think Balogun actually answered a few questions at the weekend, because we were wondering, what type of Leon Balogun are we getting back? But he looked like he'd never been away, really. Played the game really, really well. He marked Nubly very, very well, very tight on him. Never allowed him any time to turn or space or movement to get him running and stuff like that. So it is slightly harsh on Balogun that he comes out, but Balogun's there for exactly what he done on Saturday, just to pop in and cover, and then he'll be out again. Manager's already confirmed that Goldson will come straight back in and that Balogun will come out the team. So, judging by what he said yesterday as well, the manager with regards to coming here and winning this game and trying to win this game, I don't see the formation changing. I don't see the style changing. I think we'll come to win this game, and we should come to try and win this game as well, Derek, because the hosts are difficult opponents, but these are games that we should be coming to win. So, and yeah, listen, see on Aldo, Balogun doesn't deserve to be dropped. Yeah, maybe he doesn't, but he is behind Suter and Goldson. And if we're going to go two centre halves, then that's your choice. So it is sadly as simple as that.
What do you mean? I had Joshua on the line yesterday, Stevie.
Did you?
Yeah. I know you don't listen to anything he's got to say. I know you're not interested in anything he's got to say, but
do you know what? He messaged me yesterday. See where we're going any further, right? Having got rid of Johnny and Joshua taking over, right? Everybody's more happy, and we thought this was going to be good. Joshua messaged me yesterday. He says, "Look, I'm going to have to mess about with your schedule. I don't want your article this week during the week. Can you do it end of the week after the Morton game? It'd be really good if I can get something for you Saturday night." So I don't get home till late on a Saturday night after the football, 7:30. Now I'm going to have to do my article. And then I messaged back. I was like, right, fine, whatever. And he's like, oh, great, right, I'm off for a swim in Lake Geneva. Right. See, as you're right, he's already turning in. You know how nobody likes their boss, right? Joshua is already turning into that guy, and he's been in charge about 8 minutes. So, nah, let's not talk about Joshua. He's not joining us today, is he? Because see if he is, I think I'll just boo him as soon as he comes on. I text him back saying,
He's not joining us. No, don't worry.
I hope you get your lovely hair ruined. That's what I said to him. So, Lake Geneva, I'm away for a paddle. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I did tell him if he's going for a swim in his Speedos to do a Rangers review live. But I think he will. I don't think that's going to come to fruition, shall we say. However, one of the comments yesterday from one of the viewers suggested Rangers playing a back three tonight, Stevie, with Dujon Sterling. Of course, we've seen him at the weekend. It was great to see him in a Rangers jersey. Do you think that could be a possibility, a back three tonight?
Yeah, look, you never know. I mean, it would be naive enough to sit here and say, no, he's definitely not going to do that, because it is a possibility, and he has hinted before that he might do that. But I don't see that happening tonight. I don't think he would make that sort of change before a European game. But that's more leaning towards what I would do rather than what Michael Beale does. But again, it's another option of the possibilities of what he might do. The thing is, controversially, maybe or maybe not, I see Dujon Sterling coming into this team quite quickly once he's fit. But I don't think Dujon Sterling comes in as a third centre-back of that. I think Dujon Sterling comes in as a right-back. So I think there's real competition to be had there. It's maybe a wider conversation to have, maybe a difficult one that people don't really want to go into. But there has been problems at our full-back areas. No, the last couple of days, games, Barisic has actually responded and been quite decent. James Tavernier still maybe struggling slightly. He's been skinned and left behind quite a few times in some games. So teams are going to target that area, and I can see Sterling coming in, Derek, and making that position, or at least getting a shot at that position. So I think it's an area to watch. I don't think Dujon Sterling's came here to sit on the bench and just be a backup and be quite happy with that. I think he's really going to push. We have only seen a glimpse of him, but I think he's going to be a really decent acquisition for Rangers. So I don't think tonight is his night. I don't think he would come into the team tonight, but in the long run, I can really see him coming into that position, and I think it's one to watch. So Tavernier as well. The big thing around this is that James Tavernier has played so much football, Derek, right? And I always say, footballers are like cars. It's not really like the age they are, because Tav, I think, is 31 maybe, and he's played so much football. He's got so much miles in the clock. I think he can maybe do with being rested, just like Goldson was at the weekend. So I can see Dujon Sterling playing a bit of football, and that situation for me at right back is one to watch. I think we've got really good potential in Sterling, and he might just surprise people when he does come in. So do I see him starting tonight, that sort of centre-back mode? No, not really. It's something he commented on in pre-season, that I think if we went to three at the back, Balogun would just stay in. So I think, the manager saying that Goldson was coming back in and Balogun wasn't is a clear sign that he'll play four. So, but what I would say is the Sterling one is one to watch, and I do see him getting an opportunity. I think Sterling, probably plays the weekend against Morton regardless.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite a nice starting place for him. Good weekend rest for Tav as well, hopefully ahead of PSV next week.
Yeah, there's a lot I want to talk about off the back of that. Before we do so, let's get to the comments. Aldo says, Stevie has to go on the next away trip. Johnny, make it happen. Lad deserves it.
I only want to go if Derek's going. Let's do a Napoli reunion. So, although I did get a few texts this morning from the boys over there, said it was an expensive evening.
Yes.
So maybe glad, Derek, we're not over there. So because Napoli, I don't remember Napoli being that expensive in the slightest.
No.
So I think that was quite cheap. Let's get sent somewhere that's extremely cheap. Our live videos, Derek, would be a hoot as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not Johnny. I don't think is it Johnny that still makes these decisions, or is it?
He is the overseer. He is. He's almost like the godfather of the Rangers review. He's in there. He will be appearing. I know there's some comments saying that it will be on the video. He will be on the video from time to time as well. He loves coming on and chatting all things Rangers. But yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that he'd want Rangers to if can make it past PSV, a Champions League group. We were travelling to cities that are cost efficient, shall we say, where the price of a pint isn't what I think Joshua said. It was £8 yesterday, which seems like pretty normal for down here these days. The cost of a pint, but yeah, the cheaper the better. I was in Valencia actually. When was it? A couple of weeks ago, and I was at a little bar outside the Mestalla. Guess how much it was for a pint there, Stevie?
Well, Stevie's pints of price per pint, easy for me to say is is £3. Like that's where my barrier kind of stops, Derek. But if you're talking about, I don't know which way you're going to go. I don't know, a fiver,
£2.
Oh, let's try and get a Valencia any good. Are they in Europe this year?
I've no idea. I've got no idea if they are. Please let us know in the comments, folks, if Valencia are in European competition. But yeah, it cost me. I was there with a friend of mine. Just over €4. It cost me £4, and it was superb. I actually posted. It was in Australia. Posted a picture on my Twitter account. It was all that frosty looking way. Outstanding value. So there you go. Anyway, we digress. Let's go back to Rangers. You mentioned there Tav, Stevie. Michael Beale was asked about him after the Livingston game at the weekend, and he was sort of short and swift answer. He says, "Fine, no complaints about Tav whatsoever." There has been a few supporters, shall we say, with concerns that he has lost a yard or pace. And he isn't the Tav of yesteryear. Dujon Sterling has come in. Of course, he talks very well. I liked how he spoke at the training day. He's come up here to play football. With Tav on his current form, can you see him being dropped? I think the Morton game you mentioned, I think that presents an ample opportunity to bleed Sterling in and give him that first start. But is Tav's form worrying?
It's quite funny actually on Saturday because it was a very curt and kind of grumpy response from Michael Beale from somebody that loves to chat like Michael Beale does. That was kind of unheard of. So you can look at that two ways. One where no, he definitely doesn't see there's an issue and he's just not having it. Or two, that maybe Michael Beale's aware as well that there's issues there to be had. I'll be completely honest, right? Before we go any further, I'm a huge fan of James Tavernier. I think we all are. He's done remarkable things for this club in terms of stats and numbers wise and things like that. But there's also a hell of a lot of baggage around James Tavernier being captain. You know, he's captained us through some of the really bad times. So it's going to be difficult. He's going to stand by him. I think that's quite clear. But on current form, Derek, if we're being brutally honest, his current form is miles away from where he really needs to be. I think my big concern over that is that have his legs gone a wee bit, or is he playing too much football? Kind of like what I spoke about before. If you look back at the way at last week's game in the European game, he was left for dust a couple of times. Now, he was kind of targeted a wee bit in pre-season because the fullback areas, Newcastle particularly got down our wings quite a lot. Now, Newcastle are a quality side. So that can happen to us. I understand that completely. But in other games, Hamburg, he was left quite a few times at right back area, being, trailing back. And I think at the weekend, the Levy fullback, the number 3, took him, and left him for dust as well. And he was kind of grappling a wee bit to get back. Do I have concerns about James Tavernier's form? Yes, I do. From what I've seen so far, I've got concerns that maybe we're getting to the stage where he's going to need to come out the team at times. But before you would maybe rest James Tavernier and then, you'd be back in and that'd be him fine. I think we're getting to the point where we need to ask ourselves, have we seen the best of James Tavernier and is he capable of coming back? I think that's the question where we're at now. He's notoriously a kind of slow starter in seasons. I think if you look at it, even
Well,
last
last
season,
season was the same. The season we got to Seville was the same as well. If I'm not
yeah, he
mistaken, there
didn't.
was a clamour to get Patterson in. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, and I don't think he really got going October, November time until he really got going. So, I think we need to respect the fact that he's been here now. I think nine years, and he deserves at least the opportunity to try and get his form back. But I would be completely sitting here lying and saying that if I said I didn't have concerns about what I've seen from James Tavernier so far. So he's got a very good challenge now in Dujon Sterling. That's what I was saying before. I think that Dujon Sterling's got a real opportunity to come into that team and have a kind of Nathan Patterson impact where, the fans are saying, no, we want this boy to stay in. So James Tavernier, as I said, has played a lot of football, and I don't want to be disrespectful, especially to our captain, and he's been here for such a length of time, but I think, again, it would be disingenuous to sit here and go, nah, Tav's fine, Tav, blah, blah, blah. Anyone that's seen his performances so far, I think would agree that looking at it, there's a few question marks surrounding what we've seen before. And it looks, Derek, at times, and we've all been like kind of sitting in the gantry and we've said to each other, Joshua said, we've said, Davey said, it looks like maybe the legs are gone a wee bit. So is he still suffering from a heavy pre-season? I'm not sure. But as I said, I want to be respectful, but I think there is question marks definitely over James Tavernier's form at the moment. And he isn't powering. He didn't power on as well on Saturday because I think he's in his mind as well. He's maybe thinking, I'm going to get caught out, which he never used to do. So it's certainly a situation to watch. It's one that I'm watching. And the manager's, as I said, the manager's reaction to that on Saturday was interesting. For somebody that talks quite a bit, he was very abrupt. Yes. And it was a very curt, kind of response. So I think this is a situation that maybe he realises and maybe he's got an eye on, possibly, and that one that we'll need to watch for. So, as I said, it's certainly in the background of my thoughts, that's for sure.
Yeah, lots of comments coming in about it. Rangers Grouch says this is a big test for Bailey as a manager now. Does he have the ruthless side needed? Ian Thompson raises a point on Tav. Yeah, his better years are behind him. He's definitely lost a step. Replacing him is something we couldn't afford in today's market. And Mark thinks he'll come good. Tav will come good, no doubts here. For this season anyway. So, certainly one to keep an eye on. But like you, Steve, he's generally started slow in the last couple of seasons anyway, at least. And then I think the second half of the campaign, his form has improved. So
the issue we've got, sorry, Derek, just to add to that, right? The issue we've got as a team is, see if teams start targeting him.
Yes.
And then he's not able. That's when we really have question marks. At the moment, I think teams are kind of gently trying to suss that out. Yep. The majority of the teams in Scotland maybe won't be able to do that. But tonight, for example, when we play this side away, if they're going to go and have a right go at him, we'll maybe get more of our questions answered. So it's a really difficult one. But I think most of us would agree that he's not hit top form yet. So it's certainly a concern.
Listen, and it's, I mean, Jim raises a point here, and I know it causes a bit of debate. He says, can we not play Tav further up the pitch? The right-hand side, right wing is an area that Rangers have found difficult to fill in recent seasons. I think it's fair to say. I know that Abdallah Sima has come in, and there's a lot of shouts for him to start off on that side this evening. But could that be a possibility, a potential positional move to maybe accommodate Dujon Sterling and play Tav in the same team, Stevie?
No. See if his legs have gone and we're at a stage where he can't. We need to take him out of right back. What difference is it going to make putting him in a midfield where you need to be more energetic? And people talk like do Rickson. I hear people say that quite a lot. Fernando Rickson, when he went into midfield, was full of energy. He had the legs. He was at a great age. He could tackle, and he just ran about like a complete, madman. People used to say that about him. He said that about him himself. So it made him a perfect foil for that kind of midfield area and how he did it. if we're taking James Tavernier out of the right back position because we're openly saying that he doesn't have the legs anymore and teams are pinpointing him and attacking him, what is moving him forward going to do? What I would like to see, Derek, is, and call this just a mental kind of side point, I would like to see James Tavernier step back a wee bit on the pitch, stop taking all the set pieces, stop running, see if it's over the other side, see if he's right back where he is.
I know what you mean.
And it's over the other side, like he did at the weekend. And then by the time he gets over there, which takes 30 seconds, by the time he takes the corner, by the time he takes back, he's 90 seconds out of his game. And if he goes and does what he does at the weekend and belts it away past, he's getting criticism for that. I'd like to maybe see that kind of side of the game. Let him take a step back. Yep. Let others take free kicks and stuff at times. So, maybe he could do himself a favour as well by just conserving energy and maybe letting other people share the kind of burden. I realise that he's captain and stuff, but that gets him a lot of criticism as well. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit here and be overly critical and bash Tav. That's not what this is meant to be. But I think, as I said before, it would be disingenuous to sit here and say that everything's wonderful around the right back position at the moment.
Yeah. Let's get to a few more comments that are coming in. First of all, great to have Demo tuning in. It says, gutted, missed yesterday morning, was under anesthetic. Well, hopefully you're on the mend, buddy. Point also been raised by Stephen Taylor. Of course, he's the guy that couldn't travel to Geneva. He had a match ticket. Was due to be in Switzerland, but in Belfast instead. At least I can start my day with the Rangers review. Still have that ticket for tonight. If anyone over there is without. So if you're watching us in Geneva or you're heading over there today, although I think you're cutting it a wee bit fine, but Stephen had a spare ticket, folks. Stephen, I'm not too sure if people can contact you on YouTube or if you can pop in your social media addresses, your Twitter or your Facebook in the chat for people to get in touch. That is very kind of you, buddy, to offer that ticket. So just a reminder there, folks, if you're looking for a ticket for anyone or if you're wanting a ticket for yourself, if you're in Geneva, then Stephen has a spare one he's willing to give away. And Stuart Jack says, morning guys, great show. Listening poolside from Budva in Montenegro. Enjoyed the live show. Well, thank you very much for coming along, Stuart. It was a brilliant night had by all, Stevie, wasn't it? The live show at New Edmonton House a couple of weeks ago.
How jealous am I poolside, but that sounds warm and lovely, and I bet that's tremendous as well, Stuart. So have a great time. Yeah, I mean the live show was great fun, and I'm sure at some point we'll do it again. But yeah, it was a good laugh, and I think we'll be having the same kind of laugh, Derek, at the table at the Danish night. So if the guys are there and they're wanting to join in, they should enter that one. So it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, the feedback from the live show and meeting everybody was incredible. Everybody was extremely nice, and I really enjoyed meeting so many, kind of putting a face to so many names. So yeah, enjoy Montenegro. I'm not jealous in the slightest as I look out at sunny Barhead. I'm not jealous in the slightest.
It's not a destination I've ever thought about going, but certainly the way you word it there, buddy, it sounds like a fantastic place. I do like going to far-flung places, of course, so excellent stuff. I'm sure Rangers played over there. Was it Zeta? Were they from Montenegro, if I'm not mistaken, or Bosnian side when they went to Manchester?
Was it not like Zvezda, that Croatian side that we narrowly kind of beat? Were they not from Montenegro? Remember Novo scored the really late winner? I brought them, we drew 0-0 away. Were they not from Montenegro?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Let us know in the comments, folks.
Zeta not Hungarian, that team?
No, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they are Montenegrin, Serbian, Bosnian way. Let us know in the comments, folks. Put us out our misery. Yeah, over there somewhere. So let us know. Get to a couple of more comments before we wrap up. First of all, John Adams is over there in Geneva. He says, no shortage of tickets over here. Hotel reception had spare tickets. As a sellout, it was been told. I had a lovely chat with Gabriel, who covers Servette. He's a fan media guy over there. And he was speaking about the game. He says the city is buzzing for the arrival of Rangers. The stadium sold out for the first time since it opened back in 2003. But that's good news that there are spare tickets around there. World's greatest DJ says, morning all. Harsh to leave Dowell out after his stunning goal on Saturday. It was a beauty, Stevie. He scored the no keeper saving that into the top corner. In the main, Kieran Dowell, I wouldn't be surprised to see him starting this evening. I've been quietly impressed. I know what he can do. I've watched him many a time playing down south. I think he's been good so far. I've been pretty impressed from him.
Yeah, he's probably been exactly what I would have expected from him. A solid kind of 7 out of 10 kind of performer. I think that's what you're going to get from Kieran Dowell. He did score a cracking goal on Saturday. It really was a sensational strike. Not seen a left foot strike like that since George Albert's days, Derek. I think that's fair. It was like what George used to do on a regular basis. So if he can chip in and start doing that, he'll get himself in the team. Would I start him tonight? No, because of who's probably in front of him. That left side has been Cantwell, so you're not taking Cantwell out of the team. Would you shift him? Would you drop Lammers? But at least, again, it goes back to what I said at the very start. There's options and options from the bench. So Kieran Dowell's energy, the ability for him to take a shot and things like that makes him a really good kind of squad player and really good summer acquisition. I said this a way back, in the summer that, it's not going to be the acquisitions of the likes of the Dowells and Sterlings and Jack Butlins of this world that's going to make or break it for Michael Beale. Where he's going to be judged is Sam Lammers, Cyril Dessers, Danilo, where the big money is. So, these boys that have come in, I reckon we'll get a kind of 7 out of 9 that will settle and do really well. So you might get 1 or 2 that don't maybe manage to settle. And I think that's just normal when you bring in such a high influx of players. There'll still be another couple to come in. And it's going to be interesting what we do between now and the end of the window. But I think Dowell will be fine. I think he'll be a good acquisition. I wouldn't start him tonight though, Derek, just purely because of what's in front of him. But he will get plenty of game time. That's for sure.
Yeah, he certainly will. And as long as he steers clear of injury, I know he had a few injuries when he was at Norwich. I've just checked up where Zeta are from, and they are from Podgorica, the capital of Montenegro. So I got it spot on there, Stevie. My geography is first class.
Where's Red Star from? Where's that team?
Red Star, Belgrade.
Is that not the same? Are they Yugoslavia? Serbia?
Yeah.
We
want a history lesson. It all used to be Yugoslavian, and then it get broken up, of course, in the 90s and the 2000s. And we've got Bosnia, Serbia, Montenegro now. I think is there another one? I'm not entirely sure. But there you go, folks. We digress talking about geography there. But listen, it's been another brilliant chat here on the channel. Thank you to everyone for interacting with the show. Stevie, score prediction for tonight. Is it going to be a comfortable evening, or are we going to be biting our fingernails?
I think we will win 2-1, and I think it won't be comfortable. When was the last time a Rangers game was ever comfortable, Derek? We won 4-0 and it was 1-0 at 78 minutes on Saturday. So even that at times was pretty anxious. So no, it most likely won't be, but I could really avoid it being a stressful evening. Just go and get the job done. I reckon if we score first, it really takes the wind out of their sails a wee bit. So let's get the ball to Danilo and let him do his stuff, get the ball to him and create a few opportunities. So yeah, I'll take a wee sneaky 2-1 and job done and up the road. So that would do me quite fine.
Yeah, it would do me also. And just to thank you to Donald for saying the other country. Yeah, Kosovo is the other one. So there you go. Every day is a school day, Stevie. Right, folks, that'll do us there. Thanks to everyone for interacting with the show. Joshua, too much to Stevie's disgust, is over there in Geneva, as we all know. So he will be on the video prior to kickoff tonight. He'll also be on with Ewan afterwards as well, where hopefully we're reporting on a Rangers win and progression to the Champions League playoff round, where it looks like they'll be playing PSV and Malik Tillman as well, who of course just signed for them recently from Bayern Munich on a season-long loan. But they need to get the job done tonight. Hopefully they can do so. Good luck to everyone, the Rangers team and everyone. If you are heading out to Geneva, then safe travels, and hopefully you enjoy your trip. We'll be back again tomorrow, but until then, enjoy your Tuesday.